Have you ever played a tabletop RPG about escaping a botched heist? In Zero Void, you play as a crew of interstellar criminals with the law right on your tail. It was designed by Jonathan Sims and Sasha Sienna, and if those names sound familiar to you, you might recognize them from their work on the podcast The Magnus Archives, among other things. This book contains all of the rules, plus a framework for an adventure. All you need to play are 1 to 6 players, a GM, and a handful of 6-sided dice. The rules are fairly simple. The harder a task is, the more dice you have to roll. If any of those dice end up on a 1, you fail. Depending on the situation, you might be able to take some of those dice away, or more dice might be added to the pool. Combat is also relatively easy. Hitting different enemies requires different amounts of dice, depending on how tough those enemies are. The adventure in Zero Void takes place on Port Caliban in the Dantic system. These are great maps that give you just enough information to put your own creative spin on them. Your crew has just escaped a botched heist in a stolen ship, but you're running out of fuel, so you decide to slip into Port Caliban to fuel up, and that's when things start to go south. I won't spoil any of it, but just know that you're on the clock, and the GM actually gets a nice little timeline of events. The GM also has more details in here about the station and the galaxy at large, because who knows if during your escape you're going to have to hop onto the nearest desert planet. There are 6 character sheets for the 6 members of the crew, and these require no prep. They're already laid out for you. Each character sheet states their role in the crew, as well as what they do, what's not their job, what their troubles are, and what's in their gear. For example, / here removes obstacles. They do slicing, dicing, and talking to the locals, and it is not their job to think things through. There's also a page in here for slang, which I absolutely love. Zero Void is an awesome high-stakes sci-fi adventure, and you can find it for yourself at MacGuffin and Company.